Uh, Rockeyez would like to welcome Marc Lopes of Dark Day Sunday. Hey man, what's going on?
Hey, what's happening, man?
Very cool, very cool. So you got a newbie EP you're working on, or is out already? I've been reading it. It was supposed to be out in 2007, 2009, 2010. What what's up with that?
Um, it was just a scheduling thing. Every time we vamped up to get ready to do it, work came up. Obviously, with Jason being in Shadows Fall and Frank being in Faith One. Just different things happened, and scheduling just didn't happen for whatever reason. So, and everything's just the stars lined up, so to say. So now we're ready to roll.
Cool, cool. Now, did you have two drummers at one time, or still do, or whatever?
No, we had different drummers. We just went through. It was like Spinal Tap for a while.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Cool. Now you got an opening slot for Dream Theater. Excited?
Yeah, to say the least. It definitely one of my favorite bands growing up, especially Images and Words. I mean, I remember seeing Dream Theater on the day the first album, when Day and Dream Unite, actually opened up for them with one of my bands back then when James LaBrie wasn't even in the band. And I remember how, wow, these guys are amazing, and, all these years later, now they're playing 4,000-seat venues, and, I get to open up for them again,
Very
which is
cool.
pretty damn cool,
Definitely. That'll definitely be a sold-out show, especially with you guys opening.
Man, thank you.
No problem. I've been listening to the tracks that are available to me right now. Is there going to be more tracks on this EP, or is that the full? It's
those are just those are all the demos.
Right.
We're going in to do the EP at the end of June, and to be honest, we haven't even discussed how many tunes we're going to put on it, because we already have, we have 15 songs already demoed up.
Right.
Ready to roll. We were going to do a full length, and then we kind of opted to go for an EP just because of the way that the industry's working and the way that the internet has changed everything. It's kind of, you don't really have to release a whole record at one time. It's almost kind of cool to do maybe 3 or 4 songs every so many months, or I've seen so many different techniques now to releasing stuff. It keeps you fresh in the minds of people. If you release a record of a 12 or 13 songs, usually there's only maybe 1 or 2 singles or releases from those from the album, and maybe a lot of people are not going to hear the whole thing or whatever. So we're thinking maybe a different approach to doing it, maybe releasing a little bit at a time, or but I have no idea. Right now they plan to go in and do maybe 4 or 5 tunes and see what happens from there.
Cool. Well, don't cut out Halo of Decay.
Thanks, man. I love that tune. That's an interesting song,
right?
Because no one. In all reality, that song is under 3 minutes long, which is insane. It's almost like the 1950s type of singles, where all the radio songs were under 3 minutes.
Right.
And that song, it was under 3 minutes, and it was totally unintentional. And I remember me and Frank, we were putting the songs together and stuff like that. And, we finished the demoing it up and everything, and we were I'm like, hey, do you realize how long this song is? He goes, oh my God. He goes, should we add anything? And I'm like, should we add anything? And we're like, no, what, man? Man, we kind of hell bent for leather, to be honest.
Right.
Form arrangement-wise, and it's crazy, and it does not seem like the song's that short. It's a weird thing, man. It's one of our proud moments. I'm so proud of this tune, because it really kicks ass, and it's really short, but it doesn't seem like it's short. It's such a weird thing.
Cool.
I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it.
That's my favorite one. You
Oh,
know?
awesome, awesome.
Definitely my favorite tune on what I heard.
Yeah, we talked about that being a single like a long time ago. We even actually storyboarded out a whole video for it and stuff. So maybe that'll happen. That'd be cool.
Great, great. Now you're definitely bringing back some great thrash sounds of the early days of thrash, like Exodus, Metallica, even Anthrax. It got a little bit of Anthrax in there, Overkill. I mean, all the great bands and stuff. Why bring it back now, like that sound?
It's not a matter of bringing it back. I mean, to be honest with you, the whole idea when we went to put this whole thing together was, to be honest, it was like we wanted it to be Master of Puppets met Number of the Beast.
Right.
Because Frank's, believe it or not, a lot of people don't even realize is that Frank's main influences, guitar-wise, were from the old thrash days and even some of the early punk stuff, and it was always the first three Metallica albums, and for me, my influence is always, Maiden's like religion to me, so I come from that school of stuff, and I loved a lot of I love Old Testament's my favorite, you know what I mean, for that, and it was a matter of just that's what we wanted to do, and that's what we were vibing on, and we still are. We're actually, me and Frank are actually putting together even, more songs for what we got coming up, which I'm really excited about. So it's not a matter of just bringing it back. It's just a matter of, doing what we always liked and, what we would want to hear. You know what I mean? And so it's not an intentional thing of like, let's bring back the old thrash sound or something. You know what I mean? It's a natural thing for us. We're just doing what we love.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Very cool.
So.
And even Conversation with the Dead, that even got a little like touch of Maiden in there and Dream Theater. It's like a mixture almost. I really like that song too.
Oh yeah, that's a good song. Yeah. I vibed off of Revelations for me, Iron Maiden Peace of Mind album.
Right.
And, the old classic slow and then change meters in the middle of the tune to the fast. And so, yeah, cool. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I definitely do. Now, what's going to go on with your other bands like Cobra Kai, Hellspeak, them bands? Dark Day Sunday is going to take off. So, what happens to the other bands?
Well, Dark Day Sunday is my main priority. To be honest, I've been waiting years for us to be able to get this going to where we're working on getting it to. I mean, we have management now, and obviously, our first shows as this lineup of Dark Day Sunday is going to be with Dream Theater, and as far as like Cobra Kai and Metal 101, obviously those are just fun weekend bands. Hellspeak was a project that I put together with a buddy of mine out here that also plays in a band called Machines of Grace with the members of Sabotage. We're actually got a thing that I'm finishing up real soon. That was always just a side project type thing, just to get together with some people and write some tunes while we were waiting around. And but yeah, Dark Day Sunday is definitely main priority, and when we have time to do the other stuff, then we have time to do the other stuff.
Cool. I'm actually glad Dark Day Sunday came around, because really I haven't really felt that vibe of the great thrash people from back in the 80s and stuff. Like I mean I hear stuff, but it still don't do really get your hair standing on your arms like your band, and I think you have a great future in that band, and I love the sound of every track that I heard off SoundCloud. So what are your plans like ahead? Are you touring or what's up?
Well, right now we're everything starts off with the Dream Theater thing, because Jason's going to be coming back from England doing some Shad stuff, and we jump right into a couple of rehearsals, and go right into doing we do Dream Theater on the 15th in Rochester.
Right.
We're doing Syracuse on Saturday, which is going to be cool because it's going to be a full set for us with a band called Spire from up there. So we'll, that'll give us a chance to actually do the whole record live. And then Sunday we go back and do another Dream Theater date. And then we're working on doing a bunch of, other things around the area and jump on some shows. We're looking at doing maybe some, we're definitely jumping on other nationals until we can, get the EP done. But really, we have to get the EP done before we can actually, look into any kind of touring process. That way we have something to support. You know what I mean?
Definitely, definitely. Now, do you have label interest right off the bat with, the members of this band?
Well, we had definitely have some interest. We had some interest, and it's all a matter of live. All these labels want to see the band live. Right. So, here it is. So that's what it's going to come down to. You know what I mean? Very cool. Very cool.
On a daily basis, what do you do in the meantime besides playing with them other bands?
I actually I'm a graphic designer.
Cool.
And I do all the artwork and stuff for the band. I handle websites and all that stuff. So I do a lot of logo work and website work, and I also design post and beam sheds.
Wow.
And that's just something else that I do too. Yeah, that's what I do, and it's metal every day, all the time, whenever. So, that's what I do.
Cool. Now, when you did the demos, did you actually get together, or was everything done on WAV files, or how'd that work?
That's a good question. Believe it or not, none of us were in the same room when we did that.
Cool. And the sound's great.
And everybody lived in a different state at that time, so it was pretty interesting how we did it. And, I'm impressed that it came out as good as it did doing it that way, because sometimes, doing it that way might seem, sterile because, not everybody's vibing off each other or anything, you know what I mean?
Right.
But me and Frank are a really good writing team. And I know Frank for a long time, even before we did Dark Day Sunday. I met him with one of my bands opening up for Fates, and a good friend that was working for them introduced us to each other. And he goes, I remember him saying, he goes, you really should meet Frank. I think you guys will get along, man. You guys get along. And he was right. We just clicked. We'll be like, he'll send me riffs, and he's a big movie buff too, and I am as well. So it's kind of interesting. We'll write tunes and we'll use imagery. He'd be like, oh, I got this riff, and I'm thinking of this part from Blade Runner or something.
Right.
And I'll be like, oh yeah, so we're painting pictures with music, and
right.
My influences come from Maiden, myself, and Maiden's one of those bands that all their songs always painted a mental picture.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that was a good correlation with each other to be able to put these songs together, and that's why I thought it's been the best experience I've ever had in my life as far as writing-wise goes, because of that. Right. It's very hard to find people that you can write with that can see on that same kind of level. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm very grateful for that. It's it's very exciting. He's like, every time he's like, oh, I got some new riffs. I'm like, oh, cool.
Great. That's cool. That's cool.
It's really cool when it's enjoyable to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Right. Will this CD be actual physical CD or a download?
Oh, well, you're asking some good questions. I like that. Really, honestly. That's funny because we talked about that the other day, and I'm a computer nerd. I'm always on the computer doing the whole networking thing and stuff, and
right.
I'm all into the whole downloading your new record or whatever, like that type of thing. And but interestingly enough, management and Frank, because Frank does a lot of work with marketing and stuff for different musical instrument companies and stuff like that. And believe it or not, people really still do like having the physical CD, especially metal fans.
Right.
And I could see that. I mean, who doesn't like getting like the cool artwork and stuff from Iron Maiden, especially? You know, I always going to use it as an example. Sorry.
Yeah.
And you know, but the whole thing of like, you know, grabbing and Power Slave or Somewhere in Time, and the whole thing folded out and had this cool like artwork and all the cool liner notes or whatever. And you know, people still like that, and it seems that you can do that more at like live shows. You know,
right.
A lot of people buy CDs at live shows. Like, for example, I was up at the Shadows Fall show last week up in New Hampshire, and they had their new CD for sale at the merch booth, and they were selling like wildfire.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you seem to sell more CDs, you know, person to person at a live event after the band's just played, than more likely a metal fan going to like a Best Buy or something. It's probably, you're not going to see that CD in the rack anyways,
right.
Or whatever, you know. So yeah, I think we are going to actually do a physical CD and do the digital download too as well.
Very cool.
So give it a shot, you know, see what happens. I mean, you can do low runs. It doesn't cost as much as it used to nowadays anymore either, you know.
Right, right. What's your feelings about? I notice a lot of people are coming out with vinyl again. First, you have to have a turntable, you know. So what do you?
Yeah, who makes turntables anymore? Except
Yeah.
like all the DJ companies, right?
Right.
Right.
But I see people.
I used to. It's funny you said that. I loved vinyl. I mean, I still have all my all my old Iron Maiden 12-inch singles. Remember the maxi
Right.
singles they used to come out with? And there's a certain crisp analog vibe to those things, man. Maybe that's what people are missing. I definitely haven't heard a record in such a long time. It kind of got me curious now. I'm gonna go look into that later.
Wow, that's definitely cool, especially having the big artwork and getting that thing autographed. That's
Oh gosh, yeah, man. The freaking album covers, man. It's cool because I got all my old album covers. I'm hanging in my studio.
right.
You know what I mean? I make great, totally cool things for like the studio and stuff, you know?
Very cool, very cool. Well, I definitely wish you guys the best, and I love what I heard, and I see success in the air for you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem. Would you like to say anything to your fans in ending?
Well, hey, you know, check us out on Facebook. You know, write us if you dig something. You know, write us if you don't dig something or whatever. We're always responsive. Definitely come check us out live if we come to your area, because definitely this is a high-energy show. You're definitely going to see some serious energy going on, and very passionate on what we do, and we'd love to meet all of you, and thanks for your support.
Thanks a lot, Mark. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.